kicking off some Q&A with Aiden Hartman, a Bucs fan, asking about the Seahawks, if they should sign Logan Ryan, Harrison.
I assume Aiden's not breaking news there, that hasn't happened while I've been on air. No. I think it makes some sense. We did our NFC training camp battles. We mentioned Nickel's kind of up for grabs. I think he'd be a nice fit up in Seattle.
If Ryan's cost is more effective and more palatable than what it's been as of late, I think it does make some serious sense. I'm just not convinced that number is going to drop to Seattle's comfort zone. From Soul Tiger, Seahawks Super Bowl chances. I'm curious what you think, Harrison.
The problem with Seattle is you can pretty much always pencil them into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But then they get there, and they just don't have quite enough firepower on either side. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson takes you a long way.
Let Russ cook.
Look, at this point, I think the strategy should be is let's utilize our best player and maximize him in Russell Wilson. But I still wonder, and I think the reason why they have run the ball a ton in recent years is that defense isn't what it was. They don't like them being on the field a lot of the time, so they try to stay balanced with the run game. I think they're a shoo-in for the playoffs. Don't love the roster for a Super Bowl run, though.
All right, Rashard Lee, and I'll take this one to start, Harrison. Trade Dak and a third for Watson.
When?
So, yeah, first off, when? Here's the core issue from Dallas's side. You weren't going to give Dak the 4-year deal. Deshaun wants a 3-year deal at even more money. So why are the Cowboys going to suddenly do that?
Because Deshaun Watson's better.
Yeah, he's better.
The Texans aren't doing it, so that's irrelevant.
Of course, Houston's not going to do it. But, Deshaun, I think, is better. I'm not convinced by that much.
Fair,
and this organization, if they weren't going to do 4 for Dak, why would they do 3 for Deshaun and more money when they don't want to pay market rate ever?
Yeah, I think those are all good points.
All right, from Lindsay, how well do you think the Eagles are going to do this season?
They are a team that I would put about 5 teams in there, along with the Bucs, Steelers, and a couple others that are just ultimate wildcard teams, where these teams I'm bunching together could make a run to the Super Bowl or miss the playoffs. I think Philly's one of those teams.
That's fair.
If Jeffrey gets healthy and is close to what he used to
not
be,
arguing with Carson Wentz.
If Rager comes in and is that legitimate speed guy on the offense, if Wentz stays healthy and the defense balls out and slays a lockdown corner, if it all comes together, you sprinkle that in with Doug Peterson's coaching, that could be a Super Bowl team, but it could also be a 7-9 team. So I think anything is on the table for Philadelphia this year.
Now, you are watching one of our live Q&As here at Chat Sports, so if you want to be a part of it, well, then you have to be subscribed. We are live every Monday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, unless there's some crazy breaking news that we go live for. That's also a way to get on the show. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe today. That way you can be part of our live Q&As and get your questions on the show. Super chat now from Mason Roy. Thank you, Mason. I do see the Vikings extending Dalvin Cook, I would say around 11 to 13 million. Our offense runs around him or through him, and the play action as well. So I think it's a real smart move.
I think that value is pretty close. I think he's going to want at least 12 because Henry just got 12.5.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Minnesota's argument there could be like, well, you're probably a better all-around back, but you're also more injury prone, so we're going to give you the Derrick Henry deal. Look, if they offered him the Henry deal, I think you sign it.
If I'm Cook, I take that.
Yeah, I mean, with the injuries you've had, with the offseason that's been in the NFL, I think it'd be good for both sides because he is right. That, Minnesota is one of the few teams that heavily uses their star running back in Dalvin Cook.
All right, so again, guys, use hashtag NFL or Super Chat to get on the show. Jaden says Dante Pettis to the Packers for a 5th-round pick. I'm curious your thoughts on this one.
Desperate as the Packers are for a receiver, a 5th for Pettis, I mean, he couldn't get on the field last year in a wide receiver group that wasn't good.
Injuries.
So I think at this point, if Pettis gets traded, it's for like a conditional 6 or 7.
Yeah, I agree. All right, bambtroll. What are the Vikings going to do with Harrison Cook? Of course, you just mentioned Dalvin Cook. Anthony Harris, meanwhile, the long-term side point or viewpoint here, Harrison.
Look, if you're having to choose one or the other, weirdly enough, I actually think it's Cook. But I would try to keep both of them because that defense got decimated this offseason. I don't mind the tag this year for Harris, see how it plays out. It's been a weird offseason. I would try to lock up Cook now, then maybe focus on Harris next offseason.
I think that's fair. And, of course, the Vikings can't extend Anthony Harris right now. They're going to try again next offseason.
Yeah.
But we'll see what the salary cap even looks like at that point. From Apex 2.0, does Tampa make a generous push and effort to land Dalvin Cook?
I kind of think that timeline is kind of come and gone. I think if a trade for Cook was going to happen, it was going to happen, kind of when the holdout, not threats, but idea came out about a month ago. I think Tampa, surprisingly, is just going to roll with what they have. Like, we thought they were going to sign Melvin Gordon. Didn't do it. We thought they'd get in the mix for Dalvin Cook. Who was the other back?
Devonta Freeman was linked, but he was too expensive.
Yeah, Freeman's too much. So, I think they're just going to be a pass-heavy offense, and their run game is going to be short completions from Tom Brady.
All right, you guys have been asking us questions. Now it's time to return the favor. Who is the most overrated player in the NFL? And let's talk general here because, depending on which fan base you ask, they're going to have different answers. So, Harrison, as we let these comments come in, we'll get some shout-outs going as well. Most overrated player in the NFL.
Overrated.
Someone said Fred Warner. I think that was the answer for underrated.
Yeah, I think he's underrated.
He's awesome.
Think of it, guys. Players who are overrated. A couple of things here. Overrated doesn't mean bad. I think everybody thinks overrated is bad. It's not bad. It's just they're not as good and as hyped up as everybody says they are. I think Tom Brady actually falls into this category.
I see a couple Bradys, and I agree.
Look, he's not bad. He's just not what he was. He's not the 6-time Super Bowl champion anymore. He's still good. He's just not, awesome anymore.
The three most popular answers, or four most popular answers, I should say, Dak, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Keep those votes coming for me in the comments.
Typically, we think quarterbacks when we think overrated and underrated.
All right, 38 Sniper. Which rookie, I think he means, will step up the most? Mine's Jalen Reagor and Brandon Ayuk.
Both those guys might be asked to do a decent amount as rookies because the receiving cores there aren't great. I don't think Ayuk will have as much on his plate, depending on when Deebo Samuel comes back.
In that same vein, how about a Justin Jefferson? Vikings need a number 2 receiver. I think for receivers, if you want to continue that mode, how about a CeeDee Lamb as well? And speaking of CeeDee Lamb, his jersey and some other select first-year players are all under $80 at chatsports.com/jersey deal. They've got Lamb, they've got Burrow, I think Tua's there as well. Some of these jerseys, by the way, are substantially under $80. For example, this Odell Beckham, I guess now it's throwback Browns jersey. That one's actually under $50. Go check out the full assortment at chatsports.com/jersey deal. That link, folks, will be in the comments and it will be in the description.
By the way, one more sleeper rookie receiver, Denzel Mims.
Okay, I like that one. They didn't there. I like that idea.
Sleeper there. So chatsports.com/jersey deal. Check out those deals today.
All right, Andres Gonzalez, is it possible the Cowboys didn't sign Dak long-term in the hopes they can land Watson, Rodgers, or Lamar Jackson?
Guys, these players don't hit free agency. That is the main issue there. Lamar Jackson is never going to be a free agent. It's never going to happen.
Deshaun Watson's never going to be a free agent.
Maybe Rodgers is, but he'll be 38 by then.
He'll be at the end of his career. Here's the reality for the Cowboys that I'm not sure they've accepted yet. The top 10 quarterbacks, they're never available except in this case. That's the only time this stuff happens because most teams, if they think they have a top 10 guy, they just get it done because they don't want to not have a quarterback, like the Bears. They don't want that.
Look, you know how you get a top 10 quarterback? You draft him and get lucky.
Exactly.
That's really how it goes.
Cowboys got lucky and they didn't pay for him. At least not yet. All right, from Mihir Kumar, hopefully I got your first name right, my friend. Bobby Wagner, Defensive Player of the Year.
If a linebacker is going to win it, it's going to be in Seattle. I'll say that. Yeah. It's just hard at that position nowadays. He could have 150 tackles. Who cares?
People just go 150, whatever.
Yeah,
Darius Leonard got in his first season. So
we'll give it to a guy who had 17 sacks.
Yeah, so it's going to be the pass rusher or the
corner.
True corner. Maybe if Wagner can get a bunch of interceptions
get
over the middle,
3 or 4 picks plus lead the NFL in tackles, maybe or something
or
like that.
Or he forces all the forced fumbles like he does in Madden 20.
And Seattle's 13-3.
Yeah, that's a lot of ifs, and maybe it happens. But I think that for Wagner, although he is the best off-ball linebacker in the NFL, probably not going to win his award or win the award, I should say. All right, Jeff Rodgers. Besides Chicago, what other teams have a quarterback controversy?
I think that's the only one that's actually a controversy. Other quarterback battles: Chargers, Dolphins.
Not controversies because they know the long-term outcome. It's just a matter of when they go to that guy.
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
fair.
Because you're talking about Fitzpatrick versus Tua and Justin Herbert against Tyrod Taylor.
All right, some more questions. Hater Jimmy's back in the office. He wanted this question on the show. Least favorite team in the NFL. Of course, this is just your biggest rival. So put your comments in the chat. Bunch of people watching. This is what we do here, folks. Least favorite NFL team. Harrison, quick thoughts?
Oh, man. I've always just couldn't stand the Giants.
Giants,
Never been an Eli guy.
Okay.
Overrated if he was still playing. He was consistently the most overrated player in the NFL.
There you go. Some quick shout-outs here. Preston says Browns. Anthony says Steelers. Jackson, Seahawks. Loyal 49ers fan. Seahawks. Bunch of Cowboys fans typing in Eagles. I see some Saints as well. So keep those comments coming here, folks, live on our show. Over to Ethan. Are McCarthy and Andy Reid a lot alike? It seems like their careers are similar.
We'll see, I think, in the coming years, right? Because Mike McCarthy has a chance, like Andy Reid, to kind of reinvent himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people don't recognize with Reid. Like, his last few years in Philly, they kind of ran him out of there because,
just like
it got a little stale, just like McCarthy in Green Bay. Can he become more innovative? Can he build around Dak and their best players? That's what Reid has done in Kansas City, making Alex Smith a big-time NFL quarterback, and obviously what he's doing with Mahomes now. That's what, the Cowboys are hoping they can get out of Mike McCarthy.
All right, from Jaden, if the Falcons' corners make a jump, could they be a playoff team? Also, quick note, pretty sure I said Cowboys were a popular answer on least favorite team. Did I not? Because I meant to, because there are multiple comments in there. Regardless, in there. All right, Jaden, if they make a jump, what do you think, Harrison?
If they're league average, they got a shot because they're going to score points.
The offense is going to be good. The rest of the defense appears pretty solid.
Yeah.
But you need corners.
Can your corners be even slightly below average? Just not awful. Like,
can they not cost you games?
Yes.
You're not going to win because of them, but can you not lose with them?
Can they be bend, don't break? That needs to be the approach for Atlanta's defense this year.